So right now it's a discussion time. So right now there's two parts of this discussion. Part A is to name two characteristics of an unmotivated student you've encountered in the past. And then part B is how do you motivate that student or patient. So I'm going to give you guys about 1 to 2 minutes to think about it. And once you have the answer to both parts, put your head down so I know you're ready. And then we'll share with the group.
Definitely somebody who's just not interested in the topic because they want to do vascular surgery only and they don't care about dementia. For example.
You have someone in mind?
Actually, I made that one up, but like, you know, I'm sure I've been like that too.
Sure.
So busy students.
I can imagine.
So busy students can do this like have busy social life.
Yeah.
Get such difficult.
Yeah.
So you just want to take the important part away.
Yeah.
That's true.
So if you feel that it's not going to be relevant to your practice.
Yeah, that's true. Those are the main problems I find the hardest
Do
to
we
deal
need a
with.
couple
So
more
would you go
minutes
back
to
to
think
like
about
in
it?
terms of how we
No?
motivate them?
Okay, so we'll
Could you
get
do the
started.
autonomy? That
Okay,
sort of thing?
so
Go
let's
back to
start
the
with
basic
Ahmed's
principles.
group. Would you like to share? Part A. So, two characteristics of an unmotivated learner.
We were talking
You can also
about,
say you haven't encountered any unmotivated students.
Oh, if we were so lucky.
If that's the truth.
We talked about students who don't have like personal buy-in on the topic. They don't feel like it's personally applicable to their life, their practice, their career. They want to do something different. They're just sort of there because they have to be. So how do you, that was one sort of component. And then the other, Miriam was talking about similar idea, but students who have such busy lives, they're not able to be engaged.
Right.
So their mind is elsewhere. So in both cases, how do you sort of bring their mind back in and convince them why this is worth their time? And we just at the end started sort of discussing, well, maybe we should go back to sort of the basic principles you were talking about, fostering autonomy, competence, maybe breaking it down.
Right.
But this is in present and future tense. We didn't have anything about how did we motivate.
Okay. So when you've encountered an unmotivated student in the past, did you do anything to motivate that student or patient?
There's a genuine effort to try to
Right, okay.
impart from their, I always try to understand from the student's perspective. I usually have family medicine residents, so I ask, well, what's your career goal? What are your career goals? And then I try to say, how is what I'm teaching you going to be applicable to those goals, and try to make it personally applicable.
Right.
There's only so much I can do that. But I find it difficult with higher level learners to really, if someone's really set in their ways, to really convince them of interest.
I think sometimes if you show them how it relates to their field, like you're saying, and then if you can pick cases that are more applicable to that.
Right. So relate what they're learning to what you're teaching, so they become more motivated.
Maybe. Sorry, I lost that thought.
That's okay. You can think on it. We'll move to the middle group. Richard?
I think I guess we didn't do it as a group, but the things that I had thought about were so the unmotivated learners, often if they're not inquisitive, so if somebody just really doesn't, it's a complicated topic and they're not like picking up at all, they're not asking any questions, that can be a sign, or if they're extraordinarily distracted. I mean, everybody checks their phone from time to time, but if they spend a whole lecture on their phone.
Right.
Things to motivate, I would agree. I think with what was said over there was essentially that you try and relate it to their field of specialty. But at the same time, I think it's important any medical learner, to some extent, you're supposed to be a bit of a pluripotent stem cell. Like, you're supposed to try and do a little bit of everything, and even if you're not interested in that particular area, you're there for a reason, and you owe it to the program to try to speak. So sometimes, in rare cases, you have to externalize your work. You have to emphasize that this is something you're going to be expected to do in this rotation, you're going to be tested on, and it's going to be necessary.
Yeah.
So it's not always your job to be their friend. You want to try and do that, but sometimes
Sometimes
the
you
carrot
just
doesn't
rush.
always work. So.
Okay, thank you. Great.
Oh, I like you asked them to go, you know, you're going to have a certain case the next day, and you say, you give them some resources, and they don't access them. The next day they come back, and they aren't prepared to handle the application. And, you know, the basic knowledge that they need to perform the task.
That could be a clear sign.
Yeah. And sometimes too, just lack of eye contact, and they glaze over. They're not distracted by any particular device or thing that they're doing, it's just like their mind is not there, and you're talking, it's like in a small groups kind of situation, you know they're really not there.
And do you have any strategies to motivate?
Well, first thing, I talk to them about how the patient will feel when they are unprepared to treat them, and how the the patient's relying on them for their knowledge. So yes, I'm there to always fill in, but you know, I have expectations, and because I work in this sort of specialty area in OT, generally speaking, I don't get this very often. They don't come to me unless they really want to learn about my clinical area. They don't choose that placement, so I've been pretty lucky. I've been pretty lucky with that. But they may not be particularly keen to learn a specific task that's involved. So that can sometimes be.
And going back to your previous point, it also violates patient safety when the student is clearly not prepared to deal with the patient. Yeah. Thank you.
You know, I have trouble with the concept of the unmotivated learner, because I think, at least the learners that I use, I mean, you can get to be my learner if you're not motivated, right? Like, people are, you're in medical school, like, at that point, you're a motivated learner. So I worry about people who were previously motivated and become unmotivated, because I see it as a symptom of something else. So rather than having an unmotivated learner, it's a learner who's become unmotivated, to me. That's the way I think about it, and oftentimes it's because they're sick. Like, I think we have to be, not always, but like mental illness or physical illness or other things, like I think we sometimes label it as not lack of motivation, and certainly we have students who aren't interested in everything, but when you have a previously motivated learner who becomes unmotivated, you have to figure out why.
For me, I think maybe one reason for unmotivation is having a conflict with the classmates as learners, or having a conflict with the educator. Maybe they don't accept that educator, they don't accept his personality or his way of education or delivering the knowledge. They have some conflict, and to solve this, as learners, if I am an educator, I will make sure that there is a harmony or a bond between the learners, to find a way to establish the harmony and the bond from the beginning, if it is a longitudinal session, or if there will be continuous sessions, to build it from the first session, by a way or another, icebreaker activity, giving them an example, showing them a new video, or being a role model for them. But how to make them to accept the educator? This needs another thought.
Right. So the onus would have to be on the instructor to identify the gap of the connection between the student and
The
the
bond, the
instructor.
conflict
Right.
resolution.
Thank you. Audrey?
Well, I kind of agree with Judith. I mean, sometimes we teach in a medical or health profession setting, and sometimes the course won't be very interesting, or the teacher will be not very relating to you or whatever, and you can be unmotivated because of that. But it's not really gonna show unless there's something very wrong about like your either results or external to you, something that's going on with you. So I kind of agree when there's someone who's unmotivated, you need to dig a little bit deeper to see what's going on. And because even like in the emergency department, when I have residents who are in psychiatry, for example, and they have a ER military rotation, which usually not very persistent for them, they will probably be unmotivated, but won't show it or will do the basic work and then leave. But yeah, I don't know what to do.
All right. We have encountered one student trainee in our program. He's having a sign of usually coming late, sleeps in the class, and usually not doing his task, always complaining and pessimistic all the time. And what main concern is his scores. His score in the exam is low and clinical performance is low.
Right, because he sleeps in the class.
Yeah, so he's,
Right.
he's not concentrated. So he has to face the music, and we scheduled the meeting with him. So we faced him, and so we have to confront him.
Right.
And this is your performance. This is what happened.
Right.
And it is due to something. Tell us what's going on in your life. What is your objective? What is going on? So at the end of that meeting, we agreed that you have to improve your performance. So we have to write something to him, with him. So we do some agreements, similar to learning contract.
Yeah.
But because it will help, so that after 3 months, we'll bring this paper again. See, this is our agreement. So what happened? Actually, I didn't know what happened because I came here, so I didn't know what happened.
Well, hopefully he improved and got better.
Yeah. I know. So we have another one, but this is something totally different, which he didn't believe in that program. He entered and he didn't believe. He has different hopes and dreams.
Right.
Always asking about another program and not concentrating on the current program. So we have lost trouble of that learning.
Okay.
So again, we schedule lots of meetings, the same strategies, always using the contracts with the learners. So we will give them we will hand over the responsibility of learning to them.
Right.
And that's what succeeded.
Excuse me, and regarding the first one, you found out why he was.
Well, actually, I attended the meeting, no, we could not understand his thought and idea. But he agreed to improve, at least he signed that contract.
Sometimes just knowing that someone has noticed and cares is like, is motivating.
I have a comment about the word unmotivated. I think this is like judgmental from educators.